Here are three stories told by Jesus in Matthew 25. They're parables, parables that tell us that we need to be prepared. We need to be faithful. We need to be compassionate. Those are expectations of God of us. And if we're going to be servants of God, if we're going to glorify God, then we need to be prepared and faithful and compassionate. So Jesus said, "Then the kingdom of heaven shall be compared to 10 maidens. They took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 were foolish, 5 were wise. And when the foolish took their lamps, they took no oil with them, but the wise took flasks of oil with their lamps. And the bridegroom was delayed, and they all slumbered, they slept. And at midnight there was a cry, 'Behold the bridegroom, come out to meet him!' And the maidens got up and trimmed their lamps, and the foolish said to the wise, 'Give us some of your oil, our lamps are going out.' But the wise replied, 'Perhaps there will not be enough for us and for you, so go to the dealers and buy for yourselves.' That might be hard to do at midnight. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the marriage feast, and the door was shut. So the other maidens came afterwards, saying, 'Lord, Lord, open to us.' And he replied, 'Truly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour.'" It's time to get ready. It's time to be prepared for the coming of Christ, for the call of God, in whatever way God is calling us, that we will do that which God calls us to do. It isn't enough to have good intentions. We need to make good preparations and do that which has us filled with the Spirit of God, ready to serve Christ and accomplish God's purposes. A second story that Jesus told is the parable of the talents, talents meaning money. And in this case, we're told about a man who goes on a journey and he calls 3 servants together to entrust to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, each according to that servant's ability. And then that man went away, and the one who had received the 5 talents went and traded and made 5 more. The one who had 2 talents made 2 talents more, but that one who had just received 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now after a long time, the master of those servants came to settle accounts with them, and the one who had received the 5 talents came forward with 5 more, and said, 'Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I've made 5 more.' And the master said, 'Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master.' Also the one who had 2 talents came forward and said, 'Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I've made 2 more.' And the master said, 'Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master.' And then the one who had received the 1 talent came forward, and he said, 'Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not winnow. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here, you have what is yours.' But the master said to him, 'You wicked and slothful servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sowed, and gather where I have not winnowed? Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him. Give it to the one who has the 10 talents, for to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have abundance. But from him who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. There men will weep and gnash their teeth.'" Faithfulness, responsibility. 2 servants do that which glorifies, honors their master, honors their master, and pleases the master. But one fails to do what he should have done, and he suffers the consequences. The third story is the parable of the sheep and the goats. Jesus says, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he'll sit on his glorious throne, and before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate them from one another like a shepherd, separating sheep from goats. And he'll place the sheep at his right hand, and the goats at his left. And the king will say to those at his right hand, 'Come, O blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me drink. I was a stranger, you welcomed me. I was naked, you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me. And the righteous will answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty? When did we see you a stranger or naked? When did we see you sick or in prison, and do that which you wanted us to do? And the king said, Truly I'll say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. But then he'll say to those that is left, Depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. And then they also will answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger, or naked or sick or in prison, and did not minister to you? And he said, Truly I say to you, as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life. 3 stories, 3 parables, each one with its particular point to be made. 1, we need to be prepared, watchful, like those 5 wise maidens looking for the bridegroom's arrival. We need to do that which honors the master with what we've been given, not waste it. Be responsible and make something of ourselves, of our faith. Do that which brings pleasure to our master. And thirdly, it is not enough to just go through our lives and act as if it's all about us, because it ain't all about us. It's about our whole world and about others in need and God's call for us to care and lend a helping hand. In fact, in the story Jesus told, there were those who were rewarded, for they did good for people who were in various situations of need. But those who failed to do that which others needed, they suffered consequences. We need to be prepared. We need to be faithful. We need to be compassionate in the Spirit of Christ.